Donald Trump presidency, we will finally evict all of these illegal aliens that are coming here and stealing jobs from Americans. If you break into my house, should I just accept you because you washed my dishes and made my beds? I say no. I say you need to go back and come back in the right way.
So is that what the Indians should have told white Americans?
Absolutely. Ask Cochise if border control is
because
important.
the original illegal alien are European white folk in America.
Agreed.
And so should the Indians stand up today and say deport all white folks back to Europe?
Well, should we learn something from their mistake? Because we are here now.
Or should you learn something from their compassion to give other people an opportunity like was given to you and your ancestors? Learn from their compassion. That's what you should learn from.
I say learn from their mistakes. Ask Geronimo if taking care of your borders is important. We need to do that now.
And I agree with Cochise, Geronimo, and Sitting Bull. Letting in the white man was the worst mistake that the Indians ever could have made. I agree with you. That was one of the greatest mistakes. Even right there in South Africa, they got a similar problem.
You know what I really think? Secretly, deep down inside, I think a lot of people understand what he's saying is wrong, but deep down inside, they actually know he's doing and saying what needed to be done so we can have the quality of life that we want. And you know why? Because it's us versus them. And when I say us versus them, I mean it's black versus white. You know what I'm saying? It's not about working together and fairness. It's my family versus yours. And my family can mean a lot of things. My family can mean people who look like me, people who speak the language like me, people who are closer to what is like me versus them. Or even my family versus yours can also mean if they have something and I don't have it and it's better for me, let's work together to take it. And we are in unison right now because we both have a common goal, which is resources, African resources or Chinese resources or Australian resources. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's basically saying something that everyone deep in their mind thinks, and I'm calling it out. He's allowed to speak like that because everyone knows in the back of their head, that's how someone had to think to conquer. They had to think like that or go with those those thoughts and rhetoric, narrative, to get what they wanted, even though it's breaking the rules. And in our heart, we know it's wrong, but it doesn't matter. We can't have any immigrants in here, or we don't want any immigrants here. But you know what? Now I've taken from you. Now I'm setting up the rules. So now I'm the official. I'm the one who makes the rules now. And we don't want anyone coming in. And you know why we don't want anyone coming in? We don't want what happened to the people we took it from to happen to us. They were coming here being like, hey, inviting, open arms. But we ain't on that tip. We knew in the back of our head, we're going to set up our own rules. And we think the way those people were acting and thinking was dumb and very low intelligent because they gave up what they shouldn't have given up because they had humanity in their heart. Can you believe it? But now that I'm in the power position, generations later, multiple generations later, with all the wealth and all the progression and what this country is right now, we're going to make rules that you guys can't come in for multiple reasons. One, to keep our people happy because there's fear in their heart. And two, we don't want what we did to other people to happen to us. Yeah, we don't want to lose place. We want people to look like us and we want to hold our strength. Okay, so we're protecting what is ours. And by ours, I mean what we took from someone else and now it's ours. And that's why he says, think about the audacity. Think about the audacity to just go, hey, we took from someone else. Now we're going to make the rules that no immigrants allowed. Hey, it's not mine. It is mine now. No one else can have it. You would hate that if a kid do it. You would hate that if an adult did it. You would hate it at any time. Some people could consider that, this is going to go over people's heads. Some people consider that to be hate speech. Some people consider that to be hate speech. Some people can consider that to be very degrading and rubbing something in your face after it's been stolen from you. And other people be like, oh, but it's just a fact, don't worry about it. Let me tell it to you like this. If he's allowed to say that so freely on TV, because one, it's a fact, we can't deny that. And two, it actually continually helps and advocates for, and justifies, by the way, what happened to indigenous people or what happens to immigrants is okay as long as we maintain power. Would you like it to be done to you? But that's not good enough because people don't care about that if you do that, right? But I'll call it out like this. At least admit that you agree with him, okay? Don't look at him and be like, oh, you know what? He's such a bad guy for saying that, but yet I'm still living in a space where I take advantage of what people who thought like him actually did. And so therefore, because I'm similar to his skin color, or I'm similar to a culture or a rhetoric like that, I get the benefit of it. Because we don't look at that and be like, hey, you're a good person. You're an enabler. Because you're allowing something to happen, you're not calling it out, and at the same time, then you benefit from it. In fact, I would even say you're worse than him. Yeah, I said it. Because at least he's picking it up and saying what he is thinking out loud. So I know where he stands. But the other person wants him to be that dictator slash, fiery, evil type of energy, which takes, because you're not strong enough or confident enough or bold enough to take the criticism that he takes. As wrong as what he said, he's not even the worst one. It's the person who agrees that that's bad to my face, but at the same time goes with that rhetoric because it benefits them. And by them, people who look like them, also they have a position of power. Because at the end of the day, it's me versus you. Simple as that. It's crazy that that can be said on TV, internet, and social media and it not even get taken down. Hey, he basically said Indigenous should learn that they should have had borders. And now look at them. Now their land is taken. Their fault. And we ain't going to make the same mistake as they made because we're smarter than that, okay? They were naive and all open, and look what happened. They didn't want to implement enough power there. But guess what? We ain't making that mistake, and that's why we talk, and we're not going to let it happen to us. He just said that. Is that hate speech? Is that correct? Is that wrong? Does no one care? And if you don't care, you're an enabler. Simple as that. The more I watch this, the more frustrated I get. The black guys there being like, look, let's have compassion. Let's understand that, potentially you have taken from them. That's why they are even trying to come back into the land, which is initially theirs, right? And they're having trouble doing that because now you're in there saying you can't come in. And he's trying to be like, let's have compassion. Let's understand where they're coming from, considering what we've done to them, and also considering that they're coming from war-torn places, or they're coming to the place, America, or even Australia, for a better quality of life. And then the other guy basically is like, look, we don't want any immigrants in here. Or we want a small amount to protect our people, to protect the American, the Australians, the Western society, all that type of stuff. And the reason we know that is because we at some stage were the immigrant. We at some stage were the people who, whether we took it forcefully or whether we were allowed to immigrate, which is Irish, German, Italian, even Chinese, even other African nations, right? We came here and now we are the ones who built it. So you've got to come in the right way or you don't come in at all because it's ours. Did you say that to the indigenous Indians or did you say that to the indigenous Aboriginals?